Friday is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Valley Storm Shelters.
We'll go over the latest forecast for Friday in just a second. We're going to touch base on what we expect tonight and tomorrow, so enjoy. Looking at 51 right now in Huntsville, 48 in Scottsboro. I mentioned earlier I would bring the plants in just because we're going to wake up in the low 40s, maybe some upper 30s out there. Pulaski's already 41, and that just will stress the plants out. You can probably leave them outside for a while because the weather pattern is very warm, very muggy, and getting stormier and stormier even beyond this weekend. We've got more storms on the way next week. So let's take it one day at a time. Into the evening hours, as you see, as we kind of go back in time here, we've got a beautiful clear sky out there, 41 degrees by 4 o'clock in the morning. The pollen forecast, there's nothing we can do about it. The rain helps a bit, but it only lasts about 12 hours when you get that break. So sky high again into the weekend, and I guess the problem is we're wanting to spend more time outside because the weather has been rather nice. Rain chances really increase late in the day Friday, but I think we'll see a few showers for the mid-morning hours, maybe even a thunderstorm with smaller hail as the warmer, more unstable air starts to move in, but I don't see any severe weather threat until at least 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, early evening, and that's questionable right now. Saturday morning, the rain should be out of here by 6 a.m. if you've got Saturday plans, and a lot of you do this weekend, and then Easter Sunday coming up next weekend. So the weekends continue to get busier and busier, and so does the weather. Here's the storm threat. I've got the higher threat here in gray, and now I'm starting out in Arkansas and Missouri. I want to show you kind of the path this storm is going to be taking. It's possible we're going to get big supercell outbreak of thunderstorms here in Arkansas, and those will quickly race east and form a line of severe weather. So I think it's kind of a two-phase storm system. May initially start out with those bigger storms out west and a lot of wind energy in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and it looks like a real high wind event here for Nashville and Middle Tennessee. We're on the tail end. It's still possible we'll get that here as well. So what we're watching out for, mostly 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, and of course some tornadoes. When you get that kind of wind pushing them, they could be strong tornadoes as well. It's all developing out west in California. Big fetch of moisture to the south out in the Pacific too. So this is going to be a major severe weather producer for much of the country. Here's a look at 1 o'clock Friday, a few showers, thunderstorms. They'll be elevated, so some hail, a little bit of lightning, but they'll move to the north. And then as we go beyond that, the warmer air starts to move in. Notice the clock here by 11:30, those bigger storms just off to the north in Tennessee, but on the tail end, additional storms could develop. And if anything, we're watching the time and it's getting later and later. So every one of these storm systems that moves through this time of year, they're all a little bit different. Notice 4 o'clock in the morning here through 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So it could be even later than the last one that moved through. Your Thursday forecast looks good. Plenty of sunshine, highs around 71 degrees. And here's your 10-day forecast. I mentioned more active weather beyond this weekend. We've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the threat for some stronger thunderstorms. And at least 1 or 2 of those days we'll probably have to deal with some type of severe weather with highs near 80 degrees.
Yeah. And you said this storm system coming this Friday is a little different than last Friday.
It's a little different. The winds are more out of the west-southwest instead of the due southwest and southeast, so that's going to change a little bit of the setup.
Does that help us?
It may help us a little bit, but I always hate to say it may not be as bad, but every storm system that's moved through this year has overperformed. Every one of them has overperformed. Every one of them has caused problems in California, so that's a bit of a concern too. I don't want to underestimate this one.
Absolutely, I understand. All right.